All right. Okay, this is my channel. Let's see, not that guy, not that guy either. This one here. Oh wait, hold on. Okay. Hello. Okay, so alright, how do I sound? I think I got the right one. We'll see. Okay, so that's good. Chat is up. Should be good. No, I think that's too. There we go. That's so weird, like my logo's not up there anymore. Not quite sure why. Okay, so let's go. Apparently it is Sunday and it is the Super Bowl day. I'm sure it's gonna be a very quiet day, but yeah, I just want to hop on here and kind of chill a bit. Not quite sure how long I'm gonna stay. We'll see how I feel. So let's check the microphone. Okay, so I don't know what's going on half of the time. Could be because my power source, maybe, I don't know. Is it better? Alright, so let's get on with it. If it's a terrible audio, I don't know what's going on here. Okay. $49ers. I don't know what that means. Alright, so it's a Super Bowl thing, huh? Not a sport person, so sorry. Okay, so let's take a look at the price here, and of course, like, this is just an update since I haven't been on for a few days. So I mean, nothing like new here, so to speak. The price is still under $15 a share. You know, do as you wish, whatever you feel, whether this company is undervalued or overvalued, that's on you. So the news is that we're gonna get a earnings soon, March 19th. So I still haven't seen anything confirmed on that particular date, but if you have the right date, I got it from Moran's Rants here, so it might be wrong, who knows, but as far as the tentative date is still at 28 March of this year, and so I would go by that until they update this particular I guess, information, then I would go on the 19 or so. 19 of March. Hey, what's up? Hi, Swish. How are you doing today? Thank you for hanging with me. So, I mean, as far as the price go, nothing new here. But if you look at the volume, the same 3.5 volume for the last trading day on Friday, right? And so that's like less than 1% of the float, or a little bit more than 1%, sorry. But it's nothing new here. And then if you look at the chart exchange here, you would see the same shenanigans that happens, right? 69.5% is being shorted there. Off exchange a little bit lower than usual. Wait. Yeah, this is GameStop. And so, 2% of that would go non-exempt, I guess, or exempt. Okay, so if you were to look at the number of shares of exempt, off exchange exempt volume, right there, it jumped up to 42,000 shares. So it went from 15 to 42. So what does that mean? For people who are well versed than me in the market, I don't know how to explain that. If you were to look up this subscript right there, or superscript right there, number 3, it says right here, FINRA shorted data reported after market close. So after market close, they were shorting that much right there. So what does that tell you? Perhaps they shorted into oblivion because they have to, perhaps, right? I don't know. Seeing this data right here, every single day, it seems like hundreds of thousands of shares being shorted every single day. Sometimes right here, even off exchange. I'm talking about off exchange here. But the total shorts, it's millions of shares being shorted every day. And so again, like, where are those shares coming from? So you have to kind of come to your own conclusion at this point, right? Okay, so there you go. And then let's take a look at something that I've kind of, we've been noticing this for a while. It's not like anything new. It's in the my title there. So if you were to look at that meme coin thing, right? Now this is later on. So here's what I've been noticing. This new channel coming up right there. And this gentleman here, obviously these people are pumping your certain crypto. And namely, it's GME. Right? And it's, again, like, this is the format that people are trying, like, or these type of people. I don't know who's paid them, or whether they're just taking advantage of the algorithm on YouTube to, kind of try to gauge people into buying into that. And so, and here's the explanation for this gentleman is reading. I don't know if he have a script to read or anything like that, but just take a note at his history
of this entire GameStop saga. And the entire point of it is there is no halting this train. There is no Robinhood. Melvin Cap.
So he's going through, what is GME. Like, he's not talking about the meme coin in general. It's just what happened back in January 21, right? And we all know what happened. And he's trying to conflate the two where, here, let me just play it so you could hear it yourself.
The stock, and it was just going absolutely parabolic. And the only reason it stopped, actually, is because Robinhood stopped the ability from people to buy the stock. People could only sell the stock. And so obviously that was extremely controversial, and, lawsuits and everything happened. But at the end of the day, the stock the stock fell because all people could do was sell it. And so this meme coin has launched just recently, last week, on the third anniversary of this entire GameStop saga. And the entire point of it is there is no halting this train. There is no Robin Hood here that is going to sit here and stop this train. And so the point of it is, you know, people can ape it all they want, and there's nobody that can stop it. So obviously a sensitive topic. If you're not familiar with the story, definitely go look at it online. There's also a Netflix documentary that you can, you know, watch about it. But I personally think, you know, so many people are familiar with the GameStop saga and everything that happened, where this one could catch a lot of attention. And, you know, we always talk about kind of crypto and especially meme coins as a version or a way to basically tokenize people's attention span. And we know that GameStop attracts a lot of attention. So let's see what happens. But that's a little bit of background on the token.
So I don't know if you catch that at all, but I think, you know, one of the things that I've noticed is that he's using that, you know, movement. And we all know this, like people who've been in this stock for a while, this is what we're used to, okay? For the meme coin people, or just here, new to this, you might not know the history of that, right? So that's a good history to go by. But here's what you need to know is that who are in here, the meme coin, like who bought into it at first? Like who mint this coin and what is this coin's going to do? This coin is not going to do anything. You see what I mean? There's no value to that quote unquote meme coin, except for the fact that if you buy it at a low, you want to sell it high to somebody else. So who are you selling it to? So you have to consider that, you know. The fact that this guy is telling you that there's no stopping, that's correct. There's no stopping the trading of this particular one. Apparently, right? Even the regulator couldn't do it, right? Or they would have done it already. And so, you know, the point is that who are you selling it to at the top of that price point? So I'm sure it's just going to be retail investor that are going to be, you know, rug pulled on. And so who have been buying it at the very low price already, right? And so again, like you're not really doing anything here except for the fact that you might have a, you know, back holders, so to speak. But as far as like the real stock out there, it's very hard for me to kind of, well, the reason why they make this coin is that they want to kind of conflate the two, or it's very difficult for people to conflate, to explain one and not the other. And when one run and the other doesn't, people are going to be, oh, the stock is dead and all that stuff. But this coin is doing this and this, right? And of course, it's just short term, you know, for people who've been investing in the stock. You know, we're all investors here, and so we're not worried about the flight price actions and all that stuff, the day to day, because we're investing based on the fundamental of the company and the leadership and all that stuff. So I just want to caution people on you know, videos like this. And you know, what I'm seeing is the format that they're trying to create here is to engage you into you know, get into this. And it's kind of like all-in podcast type of deal here, right? Like where you have multiple people here, or even what is it? The PP show, right? It's the same format here, and of course, this is the formula that they are trying to engage people to be there. All right. Hi, Michael. Thank you. How'd it go, Chef? Oh, thank you, Chief. Thank you. Bitcoin, yep, but we all, what is it over here? We all cheer for GameStop, of course. I'm sure like my audience usually are in agreements with me, but my other point as well too, I'm like, okay, where are all the Windrop of the world over here? Like commenting how these people are pumping and dumping this meme coin. Right? Where are all the SpongeBob of the world over here? Right? Where are all Alan Scott of the world over here? You know, it's like you hate pump and dumpers? There you go. There's one. But yet, you know, you go to Moran's, the guy who's been telling the truth for the whole year, 3 years of his life on YouTube. you go after him and saying that he's a pump and dump and all that stuff. And again, like, what is he pumping? He's pumping nothing of the sort except telling you the truth about this company right here, right? This company. So again, like, if you're into the meme coin, just know that you're not buying into anything of value. You're not buying into the stock per se. You're just buying into the price action, and whoever get to jump off of it the first get to profit immensely. And I bet you anything, institutions already got into it. Whoever the creator of this meme coin, right, is going to benefit the most. And of course, like other channel as well, 4 days ago, this guy is pumping the meme coin right here, GME coin. Again, this is just all distraction here, you guys. And again, the earnings is coming. It's going to be profitable. They need something like this to engage people. So they start a month ahead of time. I'm sure, some people are going to make some money on it, but you just have to be smart on this one. Just know what you're buying into. I'm not going to buy into that. So I don't want to participate in that BS here. Just so you know. But anyway, so that's that. And one other things, I just watched Moran's new video too about AMC being pumping on, is it AMC? I feel like I had one here. No. It's like if you type AMC stock, of course the same narrative is still true, right? This one just pop up. Of course, this guy's been pumping AMC for 3 years of his life, and of course he has views, right? It's being viewed. We all know all those lottery stocks and all that stuff, and there's still $1 trillion, really? Those are not part. And then there you go, there's another guy right there. $61 per share based on the algorithm prediction. It's BS, right? How can it go that high? You can't get to that high because the company is not fundamentally sound. And so, if the company is not fundamentally sound, you can't have that catalyst. Like, even if these are highly shorted stock, you won't get anything. There's no element of surprise anymore for this particular company, right? But there's still something for GameStop. That's my opinion, right? If you dig into it, and of course, like, people conflate the two all the time, and this is the reason why they pump this out to people, saying, "Oh, AMC is the same as GME. They're the same crap company," right? Nothing comes out of, like, people are, oh, you don't want me to buy into AMC, but you want me to buy into GME. It's like, no, like, do what you want to do with your money. But I'm sure people who are smart enough, they could distinguish the two, right? And this is how I distinguish the two between the two company, is through this over here. Alright, speaking of the devil, I bought the new Zelda. It's pretty fun so far. Okay, alright. Congratulations. I haven't played game for a while, so just haven't had time to do so. But yeah, I mean, if you enjoy it, I heard pretty good things about those games. Legend of the Zelda or something like that. I kind of want that Final Fantasy one, but again, like, I feel like I haven't had time to play any games. But yeah, thank you for sharing, Winjo. What I'm curious about, though, I was mentioning you a little bit earlier. All these pumpers. Why are you guys going out there? Like, where's the comment saying these guys are pumping? Like, I don't see any of your comment, Winjo. Like, over here. Pumping shit coin, right? Shit coin. You're saying that GME is a shit co, right? So why not this? Makes no sense to me, right? Where is Alan Scott of the world over here? Where is SpongeBob of the world over here? My GME store didn't have any copy in stock though. You could order online, it's an e-commerce. It's like, you know how to use computer, right? That's the whole point of e-commerce. Like, maybe it's not in stock, but hey, somebody could send it to you. Let's see. Oh, okay. What else did I wanted to show? Hold on, let me read my title real quick. Oh yeah, ARM. Let's talk about ARMS real quick. So I'm sure you I don't know if you follow this company. Obviously, it's been IPO'd since September of 23, and it's already been like crazy already, right? So apparently they have some earnings beat right there, 40%, right? So reported, and then the recent earnings, it was 17% beat on earning, and then revenue is like 8% beat, right? That's what they're claiming. And of course, the stock went up like 60%, 65% in one day. Gap up and crap. Gap up and crap. Gap up and go. And since then, it's been consolidating, but it's kind of inching back up again. And look at this volume. Let's look at the volume real quick. That's 106 million shares being traded back and forth right there. All right, so if you look at the balance sheets, now I don't follow this company. I think I heard one of my friends mentioning it one time. It's like the whole AI thing, right? Apparently they had something to do with AI. And again, like anytime when the news are telling you about AI and artificial intelligence and all that stuff, I'm wary of that, especially at this valuation. And so if you look at the overall valuation over here, 80 billion, okay? And look at their revenue. This is a trailing 12. Revenue, $2.9 billion, right? And so you can't justify that. Like, in my opinion, right? Of course, there's enthusiastic people who want to buy into this stock. The float is twice as much as GME, right? Now, again, this is a totally different industry, okay? Like, if you could, you could say, hey, this is a technology company. Okay, well, really, isn't that, valuable at this moment in time, that there haven't been proven that they've been around for decades on end yet, right? And so that's my spiel. I think it's just too young of a company to know that this is going to be the valuation that people place in. But again, like, who am I to say? People place the valuation based on, quote unquote, the market price of this stock, right? And so, yeah, I mean, don't you think at some point GME is going to be overvaluated by this type of front too? I betcha. If this company, hasn't been proven that they've been around for decades, could do this, I'm sure GME could do that eventually, right? It's going to be slow. It's going to be slow because we're still battling negative sentiment. We're still battling the fact that we're, quote unquote, a meme stock yet, but when that narrative died down and we're showing profit after profit, it's gonna come, right? It's the script's gonna be flipped at this juncture, and the capitulation is gonna be like unbelievable, in my opinion, anyway. Okay, let's go back to this balance sheets here. Okay, I think you see everything here. Okay, so Downside, of course, the analysts out there want you to buy. According to 22 analysts, I wonder who they are. And of course, they're trying to justify the evaluation right here on the. Of course, like Kramer, there you go, pumping. And it's SoftBank. What is it? Funding or whatever. What am I looking for? I'm looking for. Of course, this is before earnings. Search on. No, this is after earnings, sorry. Okay. And look at these people. They're trying to like justify. Let's listen to like this guy has never been like kind to GameStop as a company. But let's listen in how they're justifying this valuation. I'll show you the stat later, and it's going to be egregious and all that stuff, but that's okay.
Disney, after a fresh bundling of sports content, going to be one of the highlights. Nicole Petalides and Kevin Green with me this afternoon. Wynn Resorts earnings, a kind of a China play that's not pure China and doing a little bit better than Chinese stocks. And then we got ARM Holdings, which looks like it's going to be the first mover, and a lot of build-up with a giant rally in ARM going into its only second ever earnings report. Good afternoon, team. What are you excited for here, Nicole?
What are you excited for, right? So you see the sentiment that they're trying to pump you into buying into this more and more. This is how they do it, right? And when they don't want you to buy into something, watch how they cover GameStop every single time, right? Like these are professional actor, like, in my opinion, right? They're not like journalism in that sense. It's just like whatever in front of them. It's like, oh, okay, I'm supposed to be bullish on this one. Let's perform in front of the camera, right?
Excited because I saw a statistic that in December, Macau revenue jumped 433% year over year. That's got to help Wynn. I mean, excited for that. For Disney, I want to hear about the profits amid all the proxy battle noise. And for ARM, well, you know what? Apple has been creeping up on Samsung, and ARM is a supplier to Apple. So maybe some good things there.
Okay. Thinking about the tech side first, why don't we look at...
And that's another thing, too. ARM is a supplier to Apple, and Apple, iPhone sale has been down. Yeah, it's been down within this couple of years. So, like, what gives, really? Are they gonna sell that much more? Apple iPhone? I doubt it.
ARM, second report ever. Shares rallying post-market here with the good little bounce, almost to $90 at one point. Right now we're trading 86. I mean, that's a 10% plus pop. And numbers coming into this last time around kind of left some questions still about sort of the profitability elements. We talked about it this morning a good bit, KG, with the revenues expected to hit about $760 million-ish or so. They are seeing some growth. They are going to be connected in theory to AI developments, but right now this is kind of more a pure kind of mobile play. Tell me what you're going to be looking for here, Kevin.
Well, they actually did beat both on the top and bottom line, and actually their top line beat was actually very impressive, to say the least. I think that's why we are seeing a pop to the upside here. And they're also talking about the demand for some of its IP and the ability to grow their royalty business as well, which I think is another area that did see a little bit of weakness in the last quarter, but now we are seeing a little bit more strength. In the last quarter, we also saw their guidance coming up a little bit short when it came to the revenue. So once again, they kind of lowballed their expectations, beat those expectations, and now they're going to be guiding a little bit higher here. So I think right now, Nicole kind of talked about it. They're partnering with Apple. They have some other partnerships out there with NVIDIA and things of that nature. And I think they might be a winner here in the near term by providing designs to be able to meet the AI race. And that's what they're known for. I'm really looking forward to looking at the operating margins. I think that would be the biggest question mark from analysts because the expectation was really wide. But just from the headline numbers that we are seeing right now, it's a pretty decent report.
Yeah, huge beat, Nicole. That's going to be good for chips, which already just have been rallying nonstop, basically.
Yeah, I mean, the group seems to be very favorable, getting the demand. We had Taiwan Semi in mid-January, which did well and brought the group up. I mean, these things were moving together, and they've been driving.
And that's another thing to like Taiwan chips maker has been reporting down. Like sales was down, and so I don't know how these rally, got into play as if like they're fundamentally improving, like shipping chips maker and all that stuff. And is it what she said? Taiwan
Stop,
Semi?
basically.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
I mean,
take
the
a look
group
at it.
seems to be very favorable getting the demand. We had Taiwan Semi in mid-January, which did well and brought the group up. I mean, these things were moving together, and they've been driving the market. They're back in the lead to sort of drive this market higher. I mean, what happened to the China slowdown? I was waiting to hear some of that, but as we know, according to some channel checks, the iPhone was still doing very well in China. Some of the outlooks are coming out now, seeing the fourth quarter adjusted EPS 28 to 32 cents. That is better than the estimate of 21 cents, right?
Yeah.
And the revenue, 850,900, is better than the estimate of 780.
Wow. Arms now.
Yeah, wow.
We're trading 91 bucks. We're talking about almost a 20% rally, right? 70, close to 77. We're getting there. About 18%. I mean, absolute ripper. Safe to say they blew the doors off here, I think. 28, 32, 21 estimate, as Nicole just mentioned, for the guidance. I mean, monstrous. So I guess margins, KG, it's a pretty good guidance.
Yeah, definitely. Now, even if the margins do contract, which we are expecting for this particular quarter, and analysts were expecting for the next quarter, it will probably offset their beat when it comes to their revenue guide, will probably offset the concern for those margins. So I'm right there with you. I think this is a really decent report. Curious to see how they're going to react here after the conference call, maybe getting a little bit more hype when you're starting to hear more about the product launches and the partnerships as well. So this might still have some room to run here in the after hours, Ollie.
All right. Let's flip it over to Win. The good times are rolling, and that means the dice should be too. Here, China, everywhere. Win's up as well. Initial pop of about 3.5%. Earnings per share, $6.19 for the fourth quarter. Adjusted down to 191, beats the estimate of 115. And the sales also beat pretty clean. 180.
Okay, so let's take a look at that one as well. Again, like this company, I haven't been like following. It's just curious to me, like how they're enthusiastic about the pump of this, of this quote unquote AI cray. And so this is what happened. This is like the example of what they wanted you to do, to kind of influence you to buy at the high so that, somebody could sell it to you at a high price. And create that positive in sentiment. So let's look at, let me see, which one? WYNN. Sorry, I'll read the chat in a minute. WYNN. I think it's this one. I think that's the resort. Okay.
84 versus 1.7 billion. Looks like a nice little surprise, which has been kind of hard to come by in these companies, Nicole.
Yeah, and I think the casino stocks, have had so much volatility because they were so consumer-based, and there was some back and forth. There was love in Las Vegas, and there wasn't. But we started to hear people going back and spending more, not only at the tables, but also on the experiences, the dinners, the shows, and things like that. Macau, if I remember, started to get a lot of green lights, as I noted that that data where they said 433% year-over-year growth just for the month of December. So seeing this double beat somehow doesn't surprise me if you're going to take that kind of number into account. So that's good overall. I mean, the revenue growth here is 83.1%, food and beverage expenses, $216 million. So they do face some expenses and some, provisions for credit losses, $2.4 million. Margin looks pretty good, right? 19.4%.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah. Looks like pretty solid numbers, especially when they still have China kind of dragging a bit here. We've seen pops fade, though, quite often in the last couple of years for this company. What's going to determine if that happens here, Kevin?
That one.
I think it's going to be their strategy moving forward, especially when you're looking at the operating expenses and if they're going to expand or increase those expenses, especially if they're trying to double down on Macau, which the Macau numbers are great, but Macau has been lagging when it comes to the analyst expectations. So now the question is going to be, do you want to double down in that particular market, or do you want to put those dollars elsewhere? They also did get a little bit of a windfall when it comes to their adjusted earnings per share because of a property adjustment here, or basically just some tax benefits. So that did also push them over the top here in the near term. I think it is just going to be about the demand story, and people are going to ask about China, and they're going to talk about the Macau operations, and if they are seeing a little bit of slowing because of the economic data that we are seeing from there. But I'm not sure if that's going to be a near-term concern for them. I think they just have to manage margins, continue to keep margins where they're at, and not try to spend money in areas that might not be profitable in the next 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
See that? So this is the sentiment that they want you to feel. Like, even though they're, experiencing some downturn and right? But for some reason, the same thing happened to GameStop. They don't want to do that. They don't want you to buy into GameStop. Why? And look at this valuation for this company, right? So I'm looking at this one, and I was laughing because here's why. It's ridiculous. All right. So, okay, this is a good sign, I guess. Like the insider ownership is, above 10%. That's good. At the very least, you have, the management has some skin in the game, right? But look at this PE ratio. Look how ridiculous this is. Unless this is a typo or something, I don't know. Again, I don't follow this company. This is just me, looking at it objectively here. How am I supposed to be buying into that? It's like, what the Sorry, I can't even finish that sentence. And then, of course, okay, I was looking at this. Well, okay, this is, I guess, good. So, hold on, let me verify that real quick. So, cash, they have more cash. They have, I guess, cash on hand is not a problem here. But I think it's like a real estate type thing, right? And so the cash is illiquid, so to speak. But let's take a look at it in more in depth later on. So this one, the total debt is 9 times its EBITDA. So that's not a good situation to be in. At the very least, we want this to be 3 for it to be comfortable. If you look it up on Google, right, the interest coverage right there, it should be above 3, but at least it's not in the negative, so that's there's no immediate threat right there. Return on investment right here, or return on equity, it's negative 4%. That's not too bad, but again, like, the valuation is way too high for this particular one. Okay, so revenue around the same revenue as Gamestop here. Gross profit, they have a higher gross profit. All right, that's fine. Net cash, net income, sorry, $33 million. So I'm sure GameStop's going to come around that mark right there. Well, we think it's going to be more next quarter. I think $100 million is not it's not, like on average, last year they did $24 million on average, right? But we all know that quarter 4 for GameStop is a lot higher. And so, how did I find the average? I did some math on one of my live streams if you want to take a look at that. Sorry, you guys, I'll read the chat later on. I need to go through this real quick because I was curious about, this segment here. Okay, you guys are here. All right, so what am I seeing? Okay, so right now the total debt is $13 billion. Net cash is $9.7 billion in the negative. Okay, and these people want you to buy into this company, right? Or a resort or whatever, right? You might love the entertainment aspect of things. I get it. The casino business. The houses always win, right? Type thing. And so I don't know. Again, just to full disclosure, okay? I don't know about this company that well, but based on the balance sheets I'm seeing, I don't love it at all. So cash flow right here, you see free cash flow doesn't even cover the CapEx. That's important. That's like the most important metric that in my opinion anyway, right? So cash flow positive, it just means that the day-to-day activity of the company, right here, it's like the amount of cash remain after the company required to maintain and grow the company, right? So this is what they have leftovers, but they have to expense more than this, right? So think about it. It's like, let's say you make some income, right? But then next year you have this expense to have to cover next year. And so the fact that you don't even make enough this year to cover the next year expense, that is a problem. So at least they cover most of it. I'm not saying, they can't cover the whole thing, but that's not a profitable business, right? And that's why you look at this one right here. Margin is really thin in that sense, right? unless they're doing like amazing cuts and all that stuff, layoffs and all that stuff, okay, they might come out fine, right? But as far as you making money, you know, on the business side, I'm not talking about the stock, okay, price. Stock price is going crazy right now. Now, if you look at this one right here, Z-score, for this particular company, look, anything under 3 suggests increased risk for bankruptcy. Okay, this is not coming from me, coming from this score right here. And so, of course, the news want you to buy into that, saying, oh, it's not a big deal. Maybe it's just like, oh, well, you know, whatever. Again, the sentiment that they're creating on this segment. And you have to understand those too. So, of course, like I understand it for my own, you know, benefit. I just feel like it's worth notice at the very least. And again, this is why I'm so convicted in Gamestop, because it might not be as bad as these people are telling you, right? Now, I don't want to overhype it either, right? Because again, everything that happens from here and 10 years from now, it would be my speculation. I could speculate, right? But as far as like the balance sheet itself, it's solid in my opinion. All right. Oh my gosh. Sorry about that, you guys. I'm behind on chat here. There's a lot. Okay, I might just skim through. I think I did that a little bit earlier. Kevin Drop here bought some Game Online. Hi, Northstar. Thank you for What If Be More and Dynamite did a collaboration. Of course. Love Dynamite. Also short covering Gap. Not sure what that one. Oh, you mean like they're shorting the ARM company? Thank you, Uncle Eric. Appreciate you. Expert has arrived. I hope that's a real expert. I don't know which one. Hold on, let me see. It's like I never know if that's the real expert or not. Okay, I think that's you. Thank you, expert. I have to verify whether it's you or not. I still don't know. So, okay. Pack a lunch. Mind-boggling to see 50 billion on MC swing. Thought, I guess. Though, I guess. Not sure what MC is, Uncle Eric. Sorry. You Xmod. You are maniac. Okay. We could have bought Nvidia a year ago. Yeah, I mean, those valuation of the company it's crazy, you guys. Like that's why like the misprice of GameStop is just as egregious as people might have thought. You know, I'm sure it goes the other way too, because it's been suppressed for so long, and people are not going to know what happened to them until like it's too late for them already. I'm sure, you know, as we post positive after positive every single quarter, people are going to be realizing pretty soon that they've been wrong about this company. You want a piece of me? Okay, come on, you guys, don't quiet. Okay, he's said it was less painful than losing money on shitty stock. Okay, I'm just gonna skim through a little bit here, you guys. Seems like you guys are conversating amongst yourself. It's true, lies, butter my toast. Toast. Alright, there's a couple of new people that I'm not familiar with. I would invest in this. Which one? What's that? You want to invest? GME is like investing into a Lambo caught on fire. Okay. Well, I appreciate that sentiment, but I would appreciate your evidence of that. Why do you think it's Lambo, number one, that are caught on fire? So if you could give me some evidence of that, it would be amazing. I'm here to learn about the shit company that you said that it is. Welcomes to Invest Center. Alright, probably would needs to pack a lunch after buying this. Yes, GME is a glorified pawn shop. Okay, that's your opinion. Thank you for that one. You might be wrong. And I would say 7 years, 8 years or so. It's okay. It's okay to say that right now. I'm sure Amazon was a glorified bookstore. They sell used book online. And people were like, oh, why would anybody do this, right? And then 20 years later, what happened? There you go. The rest is history. I'm not, hey, anything could happen. I could be wrong. Everything, that I say here, it's just my opinion only. Shit. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so like people have these this idea about a certain company right now at the moment, right? Because they can't see the future. I can't see the future either, but I like the company, right? I like the leadership, and to me, the leadership is much more valuable than any balance sheets, right? The balance sheet is just a reflection of what leadership could do to you. For you, right? And for those of you who thinks that it's on fire and it hasn't been like put out yet, right? I think you're wrong about this company. And if you don't want to take a look at it for yourself, that's fine. If you want to continue to feel that GameStop is on fire right now, meaning like on the wrong direction, then you better look at a different, you better look into it much more in detail, because you might miss something here. I encourage anyone who knows how to do math, or at least knows somebody who are CPA approved, certified, whatever, right? And have them take a look at this balance sheet for you. If you don't know, make sure you trust this CPA that has no skin in the game, right? To give you the objective on this particular balance sheets, GameStop. This particular balance sheets, and I'm just talking strictly the balance sheets here, you guys. I'm not talking about pumping or anything like that, because again, the price could be mispriced for a very long time until people realize what they have whole or whatever. Just like these type of companies, right? There's no reason for this to be $80 billion, right? That's what. Again, and here's the reason why. Let's look at ARM real quick again. I'm not trying to compare the two company, ARMS versus GameStop here, because they're different industries, so just be careful there. But look at the EPA for this particular company. 677 P ratio. How can you tell me that this company is not overvalued? It's ridiculous. To say the least. Perhaps this is what happened. Look, the insider own 90% of this, right? So even if you're buying into this as a retail investor, you only own like less than 1%, not even, right? And insider could really do some damage here just by selling. And that's another thing too. What kind of leadership do they have, right? And that's for you to decide. For me, I don't know. In my opinion, based on what I learned about PE ratio, that's a high PE ratio. That's ridiculous. Okay, so at least they have kind of low debt. That's a good point to go on. Profit per employee, that's pretty good. I mean, at least it's not in the negative, right? What else? Let's see, what else did I sell? They only make close to $3 billion and profit $200 million already. again, they just been posting 2 earnings so far in public. Okay, at least they're net cash positive. That's good, but again, P ratio is too much. Okay, so let's look at the finance real quick. And here's another thing too that I don't understand about this company is why they're not like why are these missing? Unless that's how technology company are reporting. Maybe they're too new to report anything kind of more along the line of like, yeah, I don't even know how to evaluate this, you guys. So this is a trailing 12 if you look at the revenue 2.6 there. All right, so far so good. Okay, so looks like they increased some of the shares outstanding here. Not by much though. Pretty high gross profit. That's probably a point of sale for this type of company. Free cash flow already. Okay. So the concern for me about this company is just me taking a look at this is the consistency. Like how consistent can they be making, consistently billions of dollars every single quarter? It could just be seasonal, right? We don't know. Again, this is a fairly new company here. Okay, asset liability. All right, that's pretty promising. I like that. I like seeing this. Okay, so $5 billion in shareholder equity. Is there any goodwill? Goodwill of that much? Now, here's what I tend to do. I tend to subtract all this goodwill altogether. Now, the reason being is that that's too intangible for me to even account for that one. In my opinion, obviously. No credential whatsoever. Just my thoughts here. Again, if anything is tangible, it's hard to put a price on it. So that price, I dismiss. Right? Oops, sorry. Right or wrong, I'm going to dismiss it. Okay, so that means after that, it's going to be $3.2 billion. And if you were to do the equity, $3 billion versus 80, like 78. So that's the equity that you would have if you buy into this company at this moment in time. That's what I'm trying to figure it out. There we go. Then you get 4% of equity, right? So this is how how I would evaluate a company, whether it's overpriced or not. But yeah, again, this is a, quote unquote, a technology company. That 4% might yield you a lot more than a retail, for example, right? And so it's a matter of like what your taste is. Like, to me, I don't know if it runs this high already. I wouldn't want to touch it, in my opinion, right? Okay, that's just me. Okay, sorry. Let me. Okay, so we understand what cash flow is. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Bro has done a whole Let's Play on Gamestop episode. What are you talking about? That I don't know. What are you like? You're new to my channel, but appreciate you commenting. I don't know what you're trying to ask me here. Here is your lunch. Market cap, net neutral. Which one? Let's look up the company Microsoft. Microsoft? Okay, well, Microsoft has been covered Microsoft is that shrinking company. Entity new funky token. Okay, Pokemon Lunch. Okay, you guys, come on. I'm here to learn new information, so if you can give me good information, it would be much appreciated. You need to factor in growth more. Be more evaluating company is definitely not a science. I got you. Like growth, of course, like growth. In my opinion, because growth is kind of speculative. That's why I try not to speculate too much on that front. Unless I know the industry inside and out, I wouldn't know how to evaluate growth on these type of company, right? And so, that's why, like how I've learned things is that if I don't understand something, I wouldn't be, well versed of what, I could offer those type of, I guess like guessing games, so to speak. But yeah, so it requires a lot of knowledge on the industry itself. So that's why, I usually just go straight to the balance sheets with the number. If the number makes sense to me, great. If it doesn't, then yeah. The future growth of a certain things is too much of a guessing game. And also too, I'm biased in the sense that I think that there's going to be downturn in the next few years. And so growth in that sense, unless you are into a commodity type of thing, I think like the cycle of switching to commodity type of company's going to come in the near, couple years or so, right? If people are still euphoric about this AI thing, I'm sure, the cycle is going to flip the other way. Because currently, like if you look at the utility, commodity-based type of stocks, they kind of went down. Like even oil, right? Like if you look at oil, real quick, again, like I'm not as knowledgeable about this. Again, I'm just learning as I go. But I've heard people talking about reinflation based on commodity-based stock. Because we're kind of like in a stagflation right now, right? But again, like, hey, I'm not an economist. I'm just trying to see oil price. Okay, 3 days ago, energy stock are still attractive. Crude oil, chart master. That was 3 weeks ago. Yeah, it seems like 3 weeks ago they have this segment here.
Energy now, as we skip around just a bit. A mixed day for crude prices, with WTI and Brent settling in opposite directions as a weaker GDP print out of China stoked concerns about demand. That move, coupled with ongoing concerns in the Red Sea, have ripple effects on energy equities. The OIH Oil Services ETF, there you go, there's your alphabet soup, dropping 0.5%, touching its lowest level in 6 months. Joining us now to go inside the move, Paul Sankey, president of Sankey Research. When you were here just a minute ago, I barely recognized you. You were all bundled up. You looked like one of those Kansas City fans, not Taylor Swift the other night, but you look like one of the Kansas City fans.
Yeah, it's freezing out there, right?
So, yeah. So, for much of my life, if there was anything that was going wrong in the Red Sea, oil prices shot up.
Yeah, that's
Stuff is going wrong in the Red Sea, and they're not shooting up.
right, and it's a concern for people. And by the way, we have the same thing with freezing weather, and natural gas prices are not reacting that well. So I think it's been disappointing to oil bulls, if you want, that we've seen, as you say, a direct attacks on shipping, the rerouting of shipping. So that alone is going to cause more time for the oil to move around the world and higher costs, obviously. And yet here we are.
Here we are at prices that aren't markedly higher than they were 6 months ago.
Right, but that's another point. I mean, we're still at about $75 Brent. We're still in excess of $70 WTI. So on the other hand, it's not the end of the world. I mean, these are good prices for these oil companies that really start worrying towards 60. Last time, maybe a couple of months ago, I was on here talking about maybe Saudi needs to flush this market. And in that case, they would be taking it down, I think, below 60. If we're at 75 Brent, you're going to see very good cash returns from the oils this year.
So he's saying, the because of the conflict that happens, again, this is like 3 years ago. 3 weeks ago. And the whole point of me showing you that is that there's, a conflicts going on in the world. And the growth factors might not. Again, it depends on the company that you're getting into. Palantir, I'm sure, is going to get pretty good valuation from this point on because, number one, they just pose a positive earnings. And the price appreciation was crazy, right? The best time to buy was before earnings, in my opinion. And so those type of things, because of the conflict and what they're doing, depends on the company. So, how can you predict that type of growth? But, something that makes sense doesn't seem to make sense anymore because just like these gentlemen were saying, if, typically when these type of conflict going on, oil spikes up, but it hasn't. So what happened? Perhaps the demand is not there. Right? There's not enough demand to cover those, loss from price, for people to be like, hey, And the reason why I think that too is because of the Merck. Remember, it's a Merck. It's like a shipping company that was reporting to here, let me see if Merck's, I think this is the company here. They were reporting bad earnings or something, and it was pretty substantial in the loss of their earnings report. Let's see if I could see it here. AERK. Really? I can't even see it from here. Yeah, I need to take a look at the actual number, but I saw it on a video. Somebody did that. And this is the largest shipping company, you guys, and so this is why it's so, it's, I guess, good to take notes on, so to speak, because if they're not shipping enough goods and services or goods, from their supply chain or whatever, the economy is not as good as we're being told, right? And so that's why it doesn't make sense that, and they try to say, oh, this is just an anomaly. No, because there's no demand coming. There's nothing, to push the production of the oil. But anyway, all that to say, growth is hard to, for me, the reason why I don't think about growth that much is, number one, I need to know the industry that I'm in, that I'm talking about. Number two, the downturn for the next couple years to come, right? Because of the natural demand is not there. The demands that we've been seeing, it's just based on government spending here. So it's not from, private sector. It's not a natural way of like increasing goods and services, right? That's why those GDP and all that stuff was kind of whack, like a little bit wacko, because they're not real number. They're just inflated by the government spending. And so it's going to come to fruition here in a minute. So if you're not careful. But yeah, I appreciate that, Uncle Eric, for that. Yeah. So again, I'm just trying to avoid speculating too much. Apple stock is a good stock. You guys, it's a growth company. Don't confuse with value before you even try to make it a model it. Okay, I get that. S&P 500 said that growth expectation is very high, but it's also the question of what is this PE so high, especially. Okay. You about negative. What about negative PE ratio? Are you referring to GameStop? It's gonna be fixed. Once they're making money, it's gonna be fixed. So yeah, they've been negative for a couple of quarters, but again, the trend is up. So what are you saying? You know, if the company is improving, isn't that what the point of making a business better, running better business in the long term? I know, like short term, yes, you're right. They've been losing money. Yes, they have negative PE. So did Palantir. So did every other company that are going through restructuring, sorry, I was distracted by my dog. Restructuring, I can't even think of a word here. It's like when they're restructuring their business to make it run better, right? So they need this to happen. Right? But again, they have the money to do this. This money that they quote unquote burned, they're doing the right thing, you could argue NFT is a shitty idea and all that stuff, but at least they're trying something, right? And most of those money that you guys think, like the $700 million that Winthrop was mentioning like months ago, those $700 million that is being quote unquote burned, they're doing the right thing with it. What did they do with it? They paid off debt completely, right? They build a platform. Yes, it's failed, but at least they have that money to spend. But what else did they do? They didn't just spend the whole cash position that they have. They save it in order to, keep the company going, right? For the future of this company. And so this is the long-term thinker that we want the leadership to be thinking about, right? And so, like, even if you look at the cash position over here, it's like, okay, at what time frame are you looking at, right? So do you want to look at when Ryan Cohen got in, which is right here, or after he got the CEO title, right? Now, if you look at this quote unquote dilution that Winthrop keep mentioning, okay, so from here to now, what is that? That's $500 million of cash, right? Quote unquote being burned. But again, what is that? Like, what did we get from it? Well, we got a debt-free company, right? We've got a, a platform that, yes, it fell, sure, in my opinion, it's still a success because at least they have a trading mark for it, or I'm sure they have a what is it called? Trademark still for that particular platform. And in my opinion, I think crypto is here to stay. They just need to be clear about the regulatory clarity type thing, right? Once it's being ironed out or whatever, I'm sure they're gonna product fitted again. That's just my opinion, obviously my speculation. But yeah, as far as like the balance sheet itself, negative API is just a temporary thing here. And so we're about to show positive in a minute here. So I'm not worried about this company. But yeah, if you just like saying, hey, I don't know, positive, and then just deter people from taking a look at this company because of the negative API, I think they're just looking at it's kind of a small area of history here. And again, like I'm speculating about this leadership that they're gonna pull it off, right? That's just my opinion, right? My speculation is that Brian Cohen is gonna succeed in this company. And so, and I like the balance sheets as it stand too, right? I mean, to go from, I'm gonna keep pointing this out because people are gonna be, it's a negative, PE ratio over here. Look, $500 million swing right there. I mean, what more can you ask? And this is within a year time span. And so if you were to kind of do an average, right? This is a year divided by 4. That's $125 million per quarter. They're able to kind of pull in a positive manner, right? And so if that trend continue, right, just like you expect the trend for the revenue to go down, then the trend for net income should go up as well, right? Again, this is a trend, like it's a confirmation bias here because you have the past. The past is not indicative of the future performance, I get that. But you need something to go off of in order to kind of predict anything, right? How do you predict that Palantir is going to be profitable? How do people know to put their money in before the earnings happened? Some earnings are missed. Okay, there you go. Then you're predicting it wrong, but at least they have something to go by to predict that. So, again, I'm here for numbers here that I could figure out for myself. But anyway, that's my rant there. Sorry about that. Sorry, you guys. I'm kind of behind on the chat here. I'm just gonna skip some of their comments. You ever got slammed by a 200-pound ape? Okay. Alright, people are condensating. Sounds like he packed a lunch and ate. He sold 3 to 400. Bought at 15. Can I ask you, why do you dislike meme stock token? Because in my opinion, it has nothing to do with the company. And it has no value. Just like Dogecoin. Just like, what is the value of the meme coin that you're gonna get from it? Are you gonna be able to exchange it for the stock of the company? I don't think so, right? Now, if you're into that because of the run, 3 years ago, the best thing to do is to buy the stock, because the stock itself is the thing that caused that catalyst to go, or caused that price action to go up. And there's a reason why the meme tokens being created. Who's the creator? That's another point too. It's like, right, who has the most supplies at this point? Can you even know who supplied that to you? So the creator depends on what it's on Solana, right? And so how is that token being distributed to the people who are holding it, right? And so, in my opinion, there's no value in that. I know you're probably gonna be like, oh, how about Bitcoin? There's no value in that. Well, Bitcoin has a different consent mechanism, right? And again, like if you come here and say the meme coin is a good buy, then give me the fundamental of it. Give me how the token's gonna distribute and how it's being made, right? Who made it? What is the supply and demand? And at what price does this make sense to people? And if I buy it at $100 a coin, what value do I get from that $100? Right? So there you go. Be much appreciated. Should change your name to... Okay, thank you. Appreciate that name. I won't. But I appreciate that sentiment though. This is monthly with a voice changer. What? Thank you, Suit. Well, sure. If that's your sentiment, appreciate you. Okay, everyone who is in Jimmy token knows Jimmy doesn't have a relationship to it. Meme coins go crazy in crypto. Okay, yeah. I mean, I bought into Doge, so I know what you're talking about. I've invested in Bitcoin. I've invested in Ethereum and all that stuff. But I'm just telling you, I get it. You wanna make money off of the meme coin? Go ahead, do it. But I'm just trying to tell people here, if you're thinking that for those of you who thinks that it relates to GameStop as a stock, then it's not. There will be people who think that, right? And so don't worry about it. Look, I'm not here to move the market. I can't. Look at my subscription base here. Nothing, right? So why are you so? I know you're here to pump the coin, right? So go ahead, pump. Makes no difference to me whatsoever. I don't invest in the coin. I invest in the stock, GME stock, because I think it has some value in it. So GME is the best token in the crypto space. It's a movement. Okay. It's not. But yeah, I appreciate your sentiment. If that's what you want your do you have a YouTube channel to pump that? I promise you, Jimmy will flip the stock. Don't care about that at all. Because the meme world for challenges, it's a good buy for a lot of different angle. If you care about money, okay, stop. I don't know how to respond to that, but honestly, look, like I said, you could make money off of it. If you only care about the money and then you're saying it's the movement, like what type of movement are you trying to achieve, right? Again, like who supplies those coins to you? Who's the creator? Who has the most supplies right now? Who is selling you those coins? That's what I'm interested in. If you could show me a wallet that has, the genesis of it, that would, usher into some sort of evolution of how currency work, right? It needs some use case for that. And if the use case is to pump something up, then okay, that's on you, right? And I just don't, it's hard for me to even say, do what you want with your money. It's like, so that's fine. Well, what angle why do you tell me things in confidence? Okay, Northstar, I don't know what you guys are doing here. So, looks like Northstar and XBIT has some conversation over here. Okay, I'm not here to pump a bag to a tea. I don't know what that means, to be honest. I saw one of your video in the past. Just wanted to ask you. The creator doesn't matter. Well, I kind of think it matters. The distribution is very even. One of the best. No crazy well. Okay. So the creator doesn't matter. I think it kind of does. Because you would know who's behind it. Right? If it's the Solana people, is it some independent project that is trying to create this movement? Okay, kudos to you if you could find that. But I think the creators of this coin matters. And that's the only point of sale that I would, that would concern me the most. And the fact that it's being created too without regulatory, concern, that's something to be concerned about that too. Because again, they shouldn't be using the same ticker as Gamestop stock, right? Because that's misleading people. That could misconstrued as something that is related to the Gamestop, the stock, just like the FTX. Token, right? What happened to the FTX token? So there you go. That's one point of concern for me as an investor myself. I don't want to kind of have my own money into something that is what I think, and I'm sure people have an opinion on me putting money onto this particular stock. People call me dumb, call me stupid, and there's a gentleman there call me retarded, right, for no apparent reason, right? And again, there's a lot of sentiment here, and I get it. It's heated. I'm here for a middle path here, right? And so if you call me stupid, dumb, or even smart, like if you think I'm the smartest person, doesn't mean that I'm going to be smart, right? Just because you think I'm dumb, retarded, or whatever, just doesn't mean that I'm retarded and, dumb. Your word has no meaning to my own personal life, right? And so you have to ask yourself, why do you call me that? And what did I say to elicit that type of kind of like sentiment, right? And so provide your own evidence. Perhaps this is just, again, a game that people are playing. You don't offend me in any way, shape, or form. And so if I offend you or saying certain things about your particular investment, I'm sorry. But I'm here for facts here, right? I'm here to learn from all of you. And I appreciate everyone who commented and, disagreement and all that stuff. Those are good points. Okay, I respect your opinion, even though I know I'm not going to convince you to buy into Jamie Solana. It's, I made video on my, okay, I'll check it out. If you could break down about the particular coin and how it's being distributed, who is the creator, what is the purpose of doing that, I'm all for it, sure. Like, I'm not going to put my money in it, because of the, regulator, because of the SEC, right, currently. And so they're going to clamp down on this one too, eventually, right, when most people making money, the top people, right, quote unquote, making money on it. So retail, sure, some retail will win. But most of them will lose on this, right? Just like Dogecoin, right? I was in Dogecoin too. But just like I said, I sold way too early, right? Because I didn't get to catch the train of Elon Musk tweeting about it. But and so that's my loss, right? But there are people who jump on it when Elon Musk was in the SNL skit. Right? Immediately a dump, right? It went from 70 to 50 or something cents or so. And so, yeah, I'm aware of the history of the quote-unquote meme coin and all that stuff. But again, this has nothing to do with the stock itself. And my concern is that the reason why this token is being created is because this particular stock is about to post a positive earnings in next month, right? Just my opinion, right? This stream reminds me of early. Oh, Steve, thank you. That's an honor, but I'm not trying to, the guy has more knowledge than I could ever imagine. So I'm trying to learn from his, analysis and all that too. So, but yeah, that's an honor for me. Thank you. Okay, Jimmy went from 1 to in less than 2 weeks. Okay. I know, but the market cap doesn't. It just means that people are buying into it, right? And so it still doesn't tell me anything about the fundamental of the coin itself. Is it a collectible? Like, you could collect the coins? What is the supply? That's another thing too. It's like, okay, so the market cap it went from that to that, but what is the supply? How many coins is being created every year, or it's already been created, just like XRP. See what I mean? This will see. Okay, 4.1 billion soon. All right. I just want to tell you before you missed out. Oh, that's fine. Let's see. Doge isn't a real dog. Okay. Pep isn't a real frog. And GME clearly says it is attributes and no association. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I appreciate that disclaimer. But that's not to, to say that they're not trying to mimic the same movement. It's the same movement, but decentralized. I know, but who buy it? Who distribute it? You said that the creator doesn't matter. I think it matters a lot, right? So that would be my first point of sale. If you could prove to me that somehow Ryan Cohen is involved in this, okay, there you go. That's another proof of sale. Like, if he involved in this, like, creating it to try to drive the value, I don't know. Again, like, that's probably why. That's another conspiracy there, or speculation. Or maybe that's the point that the media is gonna try to twist it. Oh, maybe Ryan Cohen is involved. Like, BS. He's in this company right now. Most of his money is in this company. But yeah, Arthur, thank you for your input there. Soon, let's go. But yeah, I know. Emotions really high here. When you're passionate about something, just like the same way I'm passionate about this company. You're gonna try to know everything about this company, just like the coin. If you know a lot about the coin, go ahead, talk about it. Show us the what is it, DD or whatever. Just show us the stat of things, before jumping into a lot of that. In my opinion, it's all gamble here, right? Even again, invest in the stock market. We know the risk versus the reward, and the guessing game is, or the game of the game, the game of the stock market is to guess which one is going to win in the end, right? And so, just like anything in life, if you don't have a data point to go by, you can't assess that just based on, okay, somebody told me this stock's gonna go berserk, right? Or this stock's gonna go from 0 to 4 point whatever billion market cap or whatever, and just because of that, it's going to give you some money here. But before that, you have to convince people to buy into the coin itself, or whatever instrument that you're kind of supporting or whatever. What I'm here for is to try to make sense out of this company here, right? And I'll end it here because I've been kind of up here for a while. I'm sure I'm losing some of you here talking about the meme coin here. But the thing about this company is, I've talked about this before, is the story behind it, right? And it hasn't been played out yet, but people seems to forget about it already, or want you to forget about this company, right? Every single news media out there, I'm sure when we post a positive earning, it's going to be something negative about it. I'm sure they're going to focus on the fact that we closed down, 500 stores, revenues down, whatever the metric is that they're using to try to bring this company, or to kind of downplay this company to the point where it's a meme coin, or it's a meme status, right? It's like it's a shit company and all that stuff. But in the meantime, when we post a positive earnings, just be sure, just be prepared. The price might crash, right? For whatever reason, because the meme coin GME crash, right? From whatever, or the pump of the GME coin itself is going to kind of like override what it is about this company, right? And to me, like the stock is going to do what it does fundamentally, as long as he's keep posting positive quarters after quarter, improvement after improvement, little inch by inch, right, bricks by brick type thing. I'm here for it. Like, if it takes 5, 6, 7 years from now, I'm here for it. And this is what investing in a value and evaluating company that is like a turnaround. This is a successful turnaround company, and people don't want to talk about it, or at least they don't want you to know about it at the moment. They'd rather you care about this company that has already been up, hundreds of % already, and they're gonna tell you to buy into this one when they have $9 billion in debt, right? Did I say it right? I think this is the company. Or cash, net cash negative right there, right? They want you to buy into this type of stock, right? Why? Because the price appreciation, right? Oh, look at the price. Right? Okay, well, let's not look at the price, just the price. Like market cap, sure, it's fun to look at. But there's signs of trouble when it comes to this, right? Now, Winthrop over here, I'm sure, because he's so enthralled about how, revenue up means good things, so I'm sure you're going to be buying to this, right? Look, up 50%. Why not buy into this? And so if that's one metric that you're using, there you go. Here's a buy right there. That's for you. But to me, there's so much more than that. Look, they used to lose this much, and then they swing positive, but they still have debt to contend for. If you look at the debt right here, real quick before I go, some goodwill, not too bad. But look at the long-term debt, $13 billion in long-term debt. So. And look, retaining loss. So they are losing money, right? Even though their revenue was up by 50%, remember. The revenue doesn't cover for all the losses that's in this company. And so if that's one metric that you're using, you're going to be losing value. And look also too, shareholder equity is negative. And the news want you to feel bullish about this company, right? So that's my angle, is that, I see all this coverage on the news media front, and anytime they talk about GameStop, it's so negative. And we all know why. I'm sure if you're listening to me, I'm sure you know why. And I have my own opinion. You could form your own opinion right there. And so I think this is a good company, in my opinion. And as far as the token go, do what you want. Your money, right? I think Gme stock will do well, and I personally think Gme coin will do well. Okay. Wish you the best. Thank you, the author. Appreciate that. Gme stock is the only way. Okay, thank you, Big Cliff. I think you're new to my channel, but yeah, I'm about to kind of sign off here. So again, appreciate every single one of you, even the people that are bashing me about I'm supposed to be changing my name to whatever. So you could read the comment. But yeah, appreciate you. I hope you're doing well in life there. And then who else? Yeah, thank you everybody. Northstar, Giga, Helm, thank you, and Xbit. I'm hoping that's the right Xbit. Uncle Eric, thank you. Yeah, everyone and anyone, and Winthrop, thank you. Dad, what a name. Manuel, thank you for coming in too. So. Alright, so I hope you learned something. I appreciate all of you coming in. I'll see you when I see you. Okay.